Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Summer, and today's video I'm going to be talking all about App State housing. I also wanted to make a Q&A for App State, so if there's any other questions that you have. I noticed that a lot of people really seem to enjoy the video where I talked about pros and cons and things you should know about App State. So if there are any additional questions, please feel free to comment them down below or put them in my social media. I also need to say this video is not affiliated with App State University whatsoever. I did used to work for housing, but when I started student teaching, I no longer worked for housing anymore. Okay, let's talk about different types of dorming. I wanted to clarify this as I will be mentioning these names all throughout the video. So apartments are basically 2 bedrooms, and in each bedroom you have 2 people. So 4 people in total are in the room. There is a large living room space and a large kitchen space. You get a full-size refrigerator, but that is the typical apartment setup at App State. Single occupied shared bath. What this means is that there will be 2 bedrooms in a pretty confined space with a desk and all of those things, and then you will have a bathroom that connects to another dorm. Then there are single occupied private bath, and that means that in your room, your bathroom will be private. These are very rare to get. Then there are double occupied common baths, and this is mainly for the traditional dorms. This includes the communal bathroom that a lot of the time people see in movies. That is what the traditional dorm would look like, with just a bed, no bathroom, and you have to share the bathroom with your floor mates. And the room prices definitely vary according to if you're sharing a bathroom with someone, if you have a suite style, if you have an apartment style, if you have just like a shared bathroom with one other person. The prices definitely vary. All right, so I'm gonna go in chronological order on all of the dorms. So we're gonna start with Appalachian Heights. So Appalachian Heights is a dorm that is really mainly for upperclassmen. This dorm is about $3,639 a month, or sorry, semester, and then $7,686 would be yearly. A lot of the dorms where you have to have apartments and you don't have to deal with communal bathrooms are way more expensive. All of the apartment units are for students, so 2 people would share a bathroom like on this side, and 2 people would share a bathroom on that side. So it's still, but all of the, like the living room, the kitchen, all of that stuff is obviously shared together. So Appalachian Heights is way further, kind of where there's a certain place that you have to park your cars during game days and stuff. So it's completely so far from everything else, like super far. And it has about probably 290 residents, so it's not that big, and every single room is apartment style. Next is Belk Hall. So this is on East Side, and you don't have any air conditioning for sure. I know you don't have air at Belk, I don't believe. As I stated before, most of the dorms that are on East Side don't have air, and a lot of them are the true traditional style dorms. So in Belk Hall, you will have a community style bathroom. There are also about 160 residents, so it's definitely not anywhere as big as a lot of the other dorms on campus, but you are closer to a lot of things. And since this does have a traditional community bathroom, it does range from about $3,063 a semester and $6,126 for the year combined. Then we have Cannon Hall. Cannon Hall also has no air. It is also on the East Side, but again, a lot closer to your actual classes. There are about 280 residents that live in Cannon Hall, so still a pretty small community. And there are only double common bathrooms, so basically like a communal bathroom style. Next is Cone Hall. So in Cone Hall, they also have no air. There's probably around like 200-ish residents, so again, a pretty small community, and you do have a community bathroom. Then we have Dogwood Hall, and this one also only has community bathrooms. There are about 217 residents, and Dog Hall has no air. Now again, a lot of the places that don't have air, they definitely have heat because it's definitely going to be cold there, but there is no air. Then there is Dalton Hall. So this again is kind of like a smaller traditional size dorm, and they don't have air, and they also have community bathrooms. Then there's Elkstone. So Elkstone also is a traditional dorming room. There's no air, and then the only option is communal bathrooms. Then there is Frank Hall. I don't think that Frank has air I feel like they don't, since they are on East Side, but they have more than just community style bathrooms. They also have an option of having a single occupied bathroom and also a private bath option, which is something that a lot of the traditional rooms do not have. And it ranges from about 189 residents, so it's super small community. Then we have Laurel Creek Hall. So Laurel Creek Hall is actually one of those dorms that are some of the newest on campus, but Laurel Creek for the longest was the newest dorm that everyone wanted to be in. They have about 620 people that live there, and they have all types of apartments. They have the suite style rooms. They do not have community bathrooms, so the only person that you would have to share a bathroom with is basically like your roommate, or if you had a shared bathroom where you had your entirely own room and the only connection would be between you and that other person on the other side sharing a bathroom. Next we have the LLC, which is on West Side. If I didn't already mention, Laurel Creek is on West Side. So LLC, basically you can only live there if you are in a learning community. It stands for a living learning center. So if you were involved in like ACES, Honors College, Living Green, if you were a transfer student, ROTC, anything of that list, you would be able to qualify for living in the Living Learning Center. They have a pretty nice setup there. The Living Learning Center has a suite style going on, so I don't believe they have a community bathroom, and they are on West Side, so they do for sure have air. All right, then there's Mountain Laurel, and I don't believe that Mountain Laurel has air, but they could. But I do know that they don't have communal bathrooms. They have more what they call a hotel style room, so you have a lot more space in Mountain Laurel. You do share a room, but your bathroom is private. Everyone has like their own side, but your bathroom is private as far as it's only for the people that are within your space. Mountaineer Hall is all the way on West Side, and they also have air, and their rooms are also more of a hotel style, so you're not sharing communal bathrooms. They also have about 436 residents. Then there's Newland. So Newland is on East Side. I'm pretty sure they have no air, but they do have a double occupied bathroom / private bathrooms. Then there is New River Hall. New River Hall is the most up-to-date rooming. They have about 715 residents, so the largest on campus so far of residents, and they are on West Side. Right when you kind of like turn in on West Side, that's where New River is. So they have the apartment style, the single occupied shared bathroom, the single occupied private bathroom, and they have double occupied shared bathrooms. So they have no form of really communal bathrooms. Everything would be between your suite mates, or you just sharing a connected bathroom, but you have two different sides of a closed door room. Then we have Raven Rocks. Raven Rocks also is a fairly new building, so they have the apartment style, the single occupied shared bathroom, and the single occupied private bathroom. There are no communal bathrooms, and it's on West Side, so there is air. But a lot of the times, really, freshmen don't get a lot of those dorms because a lot of the new dorms are really built for like athletes. So being in New River, Raven Rocks, or Thunder Hill, or Laurel Creek is mainly designated for athletes, since they are kind of like the nicer dorms, and they are very close to the athletic department, at least for football players. All right, then we also have Sleep Inn. So Sleep Inn is a double occupied private bathroom and single occupied private bathroom. They have about 140 residents. This is a dorm that they actually just recently started. I would say like probably like last year, not too long ago. The Sleep Inn is truly a true hotel style living center. Then there is Summit Hall. I don't believe Summit Hall has air, but I could be wrong. But Summit Hall is truly in the middle between like everything. You can honestly reach everything on campus that you want to, like if you want to go to the gym, if you want to go to like clubs, it's really truly in the middle between almost everything. It's not too far from anything except for West Side, but it's truly almost like in the middle of where everything you would need. Like the post office is not too far from that. Summit Hall has double occupied bathrooms only. That's the only option that they offer, and they have about 324 residents. It is a super nice dorm, especially considered that it's on the East Side, because a lot of the East Side dorms are very traditional style, but places like Summit Hall, they have a lot more space in a room than any place that West Side would. Then there is Thunder Hall, which truly has my heart because that's where I was an RA at and that's where I lived at. So there are apartment styles, single occupied rooms, double occupied rooms, and also private shared bathrooms. So there's about 573 residents that live in Thunder Hill. So it's mainly occupied with apartments and suite style rooms. Lastly, there's Whitehall, and Whitehall is the only true girl dorm that App State has currently. They have double occupied bathroom spaces there. They have about 258 residents, so it's mildly small, and they do not have air. So what I can say about on-campus housing, at least, is that if you get a dorm on West Side, you're going to be super far away from everything, but you will be ensured to have a room that has air. And also, no room on West Side has communal bathrooms. You do have to share bathrooms, but it's not like a communal bathroom as we all imagine. I would say, honestly, the only thing that sucks is that when you get newer apartments, a lot of stuff happens because they really rush to build Thunder Hill, Raven Rocks, Lowell Creek, and New River. It was a very, very rushed process. So a lot of malfunctions happen as far as like fire alarms and just stuff like that normally doesn't happen like on East Side. But again, you are guaranteed to have like a nice space. I will say, although West Side dorms are the best, like I say, if you live somewhere, you want to live on West Side, which is where Thunder Hill, Lowell Creek, Raven Rocks, or New River. Those are the top 4 choices that I would pick if I was an incoming freshman. But I will say that if you are on West Side, you will have a smaller space. Is it more like luxury style? Of course. You will have a smaller space. Things like, you know, your water not being hot or like things like that, you're gonna have a lot of those issues. Versus if you did live on West Side, you would have to live with no air, which wouldn't be horrible, simply because most of the time it's more cold than it is warm anyways. And they do have fans and stuff. You would get a bigger space and you will be closer to everything. That's definitely something food for thought. I did want to touch on signing up for housing. So most of the time you have to go into the portal. The application's open at a certain time, but you'll have to click and go into the portal. They have like a roommate thing set up now as well. You can go in and put your likes, your dislikes as far as finding a roommate, and be very, very truthfully honest, y'all, because I know everyone wants to say, oh, like I always pick up after myself, I'm super clean, but it's like if you're not and you end up getting matched with someone that is, it's going to drive you crazy. So they do have different aspects of that where you can go in and select a roommate. So I also want to get into talking about off-campus housing. So I never lived off campus because I clearly, as I stated, I was an RA, so I know more about living on campus than anything. There's a website, if you go to, I'll put it on there. And if you go through it, you can see like a list of like rentals and things like that. Sometimes people are just subleasing their places because they're doing like abroad or something. So you can also check out things like that. A lot of people that I've known to live off campus, they lived in places like the Cottages, the Standards. Now I will say, if you live in somewhere more upscale like the Standards or something, or Finmore or things like that, you definitely will have to have, well, okay, let me not say that assuming your financial circumstances. However, there are some very like pricey places that a lot of people pay for to live on in certain apartments, but the more roommates you have, the cheaper the pricing will be, obviously. But a lot of my friends would live at like the Cottages, App State Lodge. I know people that would live in Mountaineer Village. The only places, there's like one place I absolutely would not recommend you live just because the place does have a bit of issues with molding and stuff. I don't remember the exact name, but I'll find it out. Unless they have changed things in their room, that's like the only place I would not recommend. So a lot of the times you are renting out just like specific rooms, so you would have to share like a common space with someone else unless you did get your own apartment. On the website, they also have places where you can type in to get a roommate. So like, let's say you're just now moving, you're going to App State and you don't really know anyone. They do have a spot on the website where you can do like a roommate form, just kind of like you do on campus. All right, so that is all for my video talking about App State on-campus housing. Please let me know if you guys have any more questions. I would love to answer it. Again, make sure to follow my socials because I'm going to be doing a Q&A for App State that I would love to have you guys participate in. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.